Hello there, it's Keith Greenstead here, and welcome to episode 6 of the It's Okay to Be Okay podcast. What I want to talk about today is something I termed the post-lockdown blues. I'm sure many of you are back at work, whether you're working from home or working in offices or shops or whatever, but there's also a lot of people that are still on furlough, or perhaps you're working from home and things haven't quite worked out the way you thought they had. Going back to lockdown, I think we all had expectations of what life was going to be like once we got out of lockdown. We were stuck 24 hours a day indoors or in our gardens, on our backsides, making the most of the time that we had, whether it was reading, writing, doing crossword puzzles, spending time with the family, gardening, whatever. But we all had expectations of what life was going to be like once lockdown finished. I think we tended to feel that there was going to be some semblance of normality, a new normality. We knew we weren't going back to what it was before, but we expected to be in a position where we could go out, we could celebrate, we could go out and meet people, we could travel, we could do all sorts of different things that we hadn't been able to do during lockdown. And this would see the end of things and we'd all be feeling so much better. But reality is now beginning to kick in. For some of us, we've been at work now for possibly 6-7 weeks, for some people longer. And of course, the NHS and some of our frontline staff have been working throughout lockdown. So it's a completely different world out there. We've got a world now where people don't go to work in offices, our city centres are quiet, the trains are quiet, people aren't commuting. We're having to wear face masks when we go places. We can't always recognise people because they're behind a face mask. And even going to a restaurant, you're now having to book in advance. You're having to order using an app rather than actually speaking to a waiter and asking their advice on things. So the whole world has turned out differently. And at the moment, we've got to that stage where you've been out and about in the new world. You've found the restrictions compared to what you believed was normal beforehand. And it's now becoming more of a struggle. Day to day, it's difficult to see things changing. And throughout our life, whether it be at home, whether it be at work, youngsters that are about to go to school, we're having to adapt to new ways of doing things, and we're not comfortable with it. During lockdown, we were getting into habits. We were getting into habits of being at home, being with the family, watching box sets, whatever it is that we were doing. We were developing habits, and now that we've come out of lockdown, for a lot of us, we're finding that the excitement we thought was going to be there, the adventures we thought were going to be there, are not available to us at the moment. We're having to live a restricted life, and for many people this is going to be quite challenging. There are figures that during lockdown the rates of depression were quite high, but I think now it's even more challenging for people because you have expectations of what the world will be, but you're having to curtail those expectations. You're going to have to wind down what your expectations are and lower your those expectations. And I think now is an important time to reevaluate where you are, what you want out of life, and to consider just where you want to head. I always say that the only time that you have any control over, the only time that you can actually do something about is now. What's gone, even a minute ago, is past. It's history. There's nothing you can do about it. What's yet to come may not come. And gosh, have we learnt that this year with coronavirus. All the expectations we had, all the things that we thought we were going to be able to do, they're just not happening. And holidays that had to be cancelled, proms, all sorts of celebrations that we've had to do without this year have been curtailed. But the only time that you've actually got any control, the only time you can actually do anything is now, this very moment. So please, 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 bearing in mind, I fully understand how you probably feel with post-lockdown blues. You're beginning to feel that things can't get any better, things aren't changing as quickly as you'd like them to. But take control, take 100% responsibility for your life, take control of the situation and plan for the future. Use now. I know I said you can only control now, but now is the time that you can actually make things happen. Now is the time you can think about what you want to do and consider where you are and what you want out of life, bearing in mind the changes that have been imposed upon us by the whole coronavirus situation. So now is the time to reevaluate, reconsider your life, reconsider what your expectations are based upon what you know now. So don't let the current situation get you down. Don't let it give you the blues. Kick back, fight back, take control, and make sure that you are the one that's making things happen. Don't sit there waiting for other people to do things. Don't sit there waiting for events to happen, because they possibly will not happen. Nothing is going the way that it used to. Things are going about in a different way now. There's a whole new normality that we have to get used to. And the only way you're actually going to get anywhere with this is taking control yourself. So take control, take 100% responsibility for your own life. Don't let the blues get to you. Fight it, but make that decision now to get on and do it. Whatever it is that you're going to do, whether you're going to visit people, whether you're going to take up a new hobby, whether you're going to look for a new job, whether you're going to start a new business, do it now. Don't wait, because with change, there's opportunity, and there have never been more change than there is at the moment, and there will never be more opportunities there are at the moment. So do please just do one thing for me. Choose one thing that you want to change. Choose one thing that you want to do. Get out there and do it. So have a fantastic time. Make those decisions. Make sure you make things happen. And I look forward to speaking to you on the next podcast. And in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with me, if you want to chat with me, do please get in touch with me. So that's Keith Grinstead. This has been episode 6 of the It's Okay to Be Okay podcast. Thank you very much for listening.